Monarchs, Lavels, man oh man, Gold Pride Punk, and even Infern Noble. There's a lot of interesting things here. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys aren't afraid to brick on Monarchs. Man, oh man. Triple Fiend, Triple Majesty, Triple Aether, Triple Erebus. Holy crap, man. Like, the value of the Monarchs. Where are the... No squires needed in here. Hello, the little fright. You gotta love the ability for this guy just to be like, hey, you know, I can go on ahead, beam myself out, get a free draw one. Yeah, absolutely free. And we are also playing Escalation in here to be able to blast the opponent during their turn. Hey, you wanted to be able to get a tribute summon for some of the more devastating cards that you need? Cool. And then, of course, Thessalos, Jinzo. You have Bystials in here. Who let this dog out? Who let Monarchs come back into the format? Because I look at this and I'm like, wow, this is rough. See, I get hands like this and I'm like, I mean, Fenrir with this into a Karaz, I mean, it's not terrible. Okay, this is also pretty good. Alright, never mind. This deck seems fun. Alright, what else we got back here? Lava Ball, Snake Eyes. Yes, this pile is back. How many cards can you find that can be rekindling doodah? Honestly, I think the fact that you get all of this extension fodder for a deck like this to be able to go through, I mean, Laval Salamander down here. So this card says draw 2. Like, and then, you know, pitch 2 so you can load up for the rekindling. Like, the value that this deck has is kind of crazy at the end of the day. So don't underestimate the value of rekindling for these little extension options. And also, I mean, the Molten Conduction field here is a very, very free card for going through, you know, hitting a Handmaid and getting the extension dumps as well. It's all about how much deck thinning / deck winning that you can actually feed on into this. And winning the event that these two decks were running around in is unfortunately pure Snake Eyes. It's okay. We're allowed to have one pure Snake Eyes profile out here, kind of showcasing that, you know, hey, this deck is incredibly strong. You do see that Delta and the Gamma, we're going to call them the 5 Psyframe Bros, all coming on in here. Their general purpose is still the same. You're aiming to paralyze your opponent and be able to, you know, maybe use them into a quick synchro jump into, you know, a better utilization option along the way. Or if not, just, hey, free link fodder if they do stick around, or, you know, you're going to get the Gamma and your opponent ashes you and you're just like, hey, thanks, man. I really do appreciate you. Like, I'm glad we could do that. Cross Out, still the best card that we could see that this deck has going for it. We've just reached the point in the format right now that you need to play things like this in order to get the most optimized results. So, congrats to Snake Eye. Still a pain in my butt. Next up here, we have Gold Pride Punk. I cannot tell you how many Gold Pride Punk decks that I got the chance to win this week. And yin, of course, playing the double talents, one jam extreme session. Maximized ratios are fine there. You do see the double Fenrir with the double Nibiru. Side decking the Cosmics, you do see the third Nibiru come in. If you really need it, it depends on the matchup that I feel like you're going to need this. And of course, the big boss man himself. Yep, this is why you're able to win games. And then, of course, you have the Dark Ruler no more for the massive punishment to search off of the one of Thrust. You know, only playing one Thrust just because it toggles into literally any spell that you're going to need feels pretty strong. But outside of that, that's what you're looking at right now. I don't really see anything too crazy out of left field, but okay. Next up here, we have this Infern Noble Snake Eyes pile. Now, I mean, your Infern Noble package is, what, 14 cards? According to how this is sectioned off, which is kind of crazy, by the way, when you think about this. But this ended up winning what is Ideal 808's tournament. And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, obviously, this just proves how stupid your Snake Eyes package can be for allowing you to go through all of these lines of play and be able to get the maximized filtering. And I mean, your hand traps, isn't it crazy that you see like the strongest 15 that you need to in the format? I also see that we are citing the Angel Ring, and we're also citing the Baldamite or Bradomite down here as well. I do think that this card is very, very cute for what it adds into the Infern Noble stuff, but this is your Infern Noble Snake Eyes deck, and it is actually a pretty cool challenger. I didn't think people would actually consider trying something like this. This is definitely the first I've seen of its kind. Oh, hi. Ooh. We have some Magis Spector good stuff for you today. And of course, let me tell you, these generic pendulum scales that you see here, these cards are broken when they need to. Wait a minute. We're playing Exchange, excuse me here. So Exchange is a very strong card, because if your opponent looks at your hand, if you're playing Pendulum, one, they're probably not going to know what to hit. And two, you can get the knowledge from your opponent to know which boards you need to go down for which protection effects that you need. This build is also, holy crap, the going second options. You have 5 of them in here. All right, and you're also doing the Ambler Whale Promethean Princess combo that the fire decks are doing to give yourself protection as well. This is actually a pretty common thing that we've been seeing with a lot of these more rogue decks. They're doing the same thing the fire is. Wow. All right. Yes, the Vanquish Soul special. You know, I'm genuinely shocked at how much Vanquish Soul did not perform this week. I think this is the only list I saw. And then, of course, I mean, obviously, There Can Only Be One is an incredibly strong card, but it's now limited to 1, so, like, this deck can't even really utilize it to the fullest anymore because, you know, it got limited. Of course, still doing the triple Fenrir, the 1 Rise Heart, pretty strong. And then we do have the 1 Kurikara. I do think that most of these builds have been trying to stick to the 1 Kurikara. It's one of those cute little tech choices. You're like, well, you know, worst case is a fire monster I can reveal in the hand. A big whoop-de-doo. Still doing the Zodiac combo down here as well. You know, getting the chance to go down the full Zodiac combo push through the opponent is actually kind of funny. And of course, high summon limit. How are you? You know what? We might not have all the There Can Only Be Ones anymore, but that's fine. We can just summon limit our opponent and just win the game that way. Wow, we have more Sky Striker. Genuinely, I'm happy to see that Striker actually did get a couple of performances out of the weekend here. We are playing the triple Upstart Goblin. This build's not playing crazy numbers. Like, we saw a 41 card build already, which was kind of cute. Gotta love the Altart Rhoda. Maximizing on the Lightning Storm so you can have the blowouts, droplets so you can board break. 1 Talents double thrust, I feel like that's pretty normal. Post side decking, you do have the 1 Pankratops, bringing in the more standard hand traps along the way. We are opting to play Kumamungus over Hamp. To be honest with you, I do like Hamp. I think that Hamp is a major help for some of these decks, because being able to engage into Hamp is pretty insane, but this build opted to not have it. I think it's 100% optional. It just depends what you yourself actually want to try out here. But overall, I mean, once again, options, and that's what Striker's about. Next up here, Fallen of Albaz with Jougans, and we're doing Brand Fusion stuff. So this is a Runic deck that chose to play Jougans to make... We're just making Sanctifier. Is that all we're doing? So you're making Sanctifier Dragons so you can Jougan lock your opponent while you rely on the rest of your floodgates to be able to allow you the chance to play the game. I mean, it's definitely one of the more unique Runic stun builds that I've seen. I also see that Tyrant's Tirade is actually showing back. Remember, it's tribute to monsters. Effects of effect monsters that activate in the hand or on the field cannot be activated. Unlike Skill Drain, where they can still activate, this fully blocks them out. And you're going full triple Synchro Zone here. Like, this is crazy. Like, you need to... This is just another monster. Okay. And then we have Unchained. Well, hello there, Unchained. I'm happy to see that Unchained was able to do well. I see that we are playing the 1 Soul of Disaster in the main deck. We are doing the Dark Contract stuff, which was a pretty standard thing, I feel like. We have seen some builds trying to cut this, but I still think that you do want to have it just to, you know, King Requiem and on up. I see that we are doing only 2 Lord Yama. That's fine, I feel like. You have the Summon Limits both side deck. You also have the Bysteals for your roguish matchups. And yeah, this looks pretty standard, honestly. You have a lot of standardized Yu-Gi-Oh! That I would say now, but I mean, a lot of your tech choices, you don't have to do a lot for anymore. So, What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.